What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, I have quite a bit of things to discuss with you guys. As you guys know, in the past couple of days, we've been pretty much tracking where exactly Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has been going, XRP, Litecoin, Ethereum, as well as, obviously Bitcoin. And we've come across a very interesting pattern in regards to descending fractals happening on all the different altcoins and cryptocurrencies across the board. And it seems like maybe just today have we decided to actually start to hit that resistance and start to come down. I also have an article posted by Cointelegraph where they go into specifics discussing how Bitcoin is now likely to revisit the $6,000 zone after failing to break this resistance. So I think with this knowledge and with the way the technical analysis and charting is going, I think it is prime time to start to short the cryptocurrency, take a risk. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to try to short the cryptocurrency on DueDEX and see where it goes. As you can see the past couple of videos, you can see the way my thumbnails are shown. We do have a correction, a small correction down to the support line, followed by a rally upwards. You can see zoomed in on this now on the daily charts. You can see the same thing has happened where we have a correction downwards in the descending fractal. We have a correction lower, and then we have a followed massive uptrend, which is to come, obviously. That's pretty much where we're at today. It seems like right now we are starting to correct lower, but that's pretty much what we're going to discuss and go over today, guys. If you want to know more about this, how to invest, how to short, how to make some profit, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's jump into today's episode. So guys, obviously a quick recap of where exactly we are. Seems like just today we are starting to correct downwards after what appears to be a slight rally to the upside, hitting resistance and now starting to correct lower. You can see out of the top 10 cryptocurrencies, everything is practically down except for Tezos, which seems to have changed its thumbnail or its token. But you can see majority of the other cryptocurrencies are actually correcting lower, down 1 to 7% all across the board. So ultimately, I'd say top 10, we're probably down about 2 to maybe 3% at most. And with this correction, we do have planned potentially some more correction to the downside. Now, obviously, I do want to discuss this article here as we go into graphing Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies, which look to be hitting the top, as you can see here on Ethereum, and now starting to correct lower, which may ultimately send us down to this bottom support. And then we will make quite a bit of profit off of the DueDEX trading platform. So obviously you can see on right here on Cointelegraph, this is great news. I know for those who don't like the fact that crypto does fall, this may be considered bad news, but in the fact that we now have learned how to short a cryptocurrency, whichever direction is going, even if it's to the downside, as long as it's a planned movement, we can make profit off of here and we can make money, and that's ultimately what matters. So you can see with Cointelegraph just 5 hours ago coming out with an article in regards to Bitcoin closing its candle below or around 73.85. It has seemingly corrected below where its resistance is. I don't know where it goes into there. As we can see, overall volume continues to decline as the price has been in a general downtrend, and this is considered a bullish divergence, which is interesting. I don't know where it goes into specifics. Here we go. The bearish case. The bearish outlook is that Bitcoin is repeating the pattern seen earlier in the month, where the move late on Sunday is effectively a retracement into a short opportunity for the bears, which are in control at these prices, as demonstrated by lower highs, as we know. Lower highs and lower lows. Should the previous pattern repeat, a retest into $6,800 would be likely and would be significant, as another rejection here would mean a higher low and support area. The idea that there is unsettled demand in the 6,000. So they said 6,800. Ultimately, I do believe we're going to head potentially even lower than that, but 6,800 does seem to be the next area for Bitcoin to retest. 68, we do have support down at 63, and then it obviously goes lower into the 5,000s, but we will be discussing that in a second. They do have a bullish approach. It's a lot smaller, but the bullish case would be that the 7,200 level will act as a support to help push the coin up with a bullish target at 8,800, but a failure to retest the neckline at 7,600 indicates the pattern may have already failed. So that's kind of what I wanted to discuss with you guys. A lot of other YouTubers have been pretty much noticing some sort of inverse head and shoulders pattern. You can see what it is that I'm drawing right here, but it seems seems like we're actually breaking bearish right now, and that ultimately means that this inverse head and shoulders is ultimately no good. And you can see what I mean right here. This is their inverse pattern, and you can see that we're starting to head lower instead of correcting to the upside, which means that this was a weak inverse head and shoulders, and it seems like we're going to be falling lower. Now, in regards to Bitcoin's price and where exactly this is heading, obviously since starting the channel or starting this series and where we've been discussing this bearish fractal right here, we've been using Litecoin and Ethereum as a guidance tool to pretty much help us figure out where the coin is going to go to. Now notice every single time we hit this top resistance, we tend to break bearish at an extreme rate. We hit the resistance, we break bearish. We hit the resistance here, we break bearish, and we pretty much collapse downwards. We hit it here, we break bearish. We hit it here, we break bearish. It seems like we're doing it again. Notice this is every single time. So I'm not going to use this one. I mean, we could, but I'm not. We can use the 1, we can use 2, we can use 3, we can use 4, and this will ultimately be the 5th wave that I do believe is going to happen. I do believe we are going to correct lower with this, because just the way that it's been playing out, the fact that we have yet to break the descending fractal does give me reason to believe we're probably going to correct lower. Now that's on the daily. The 4 hour, we look okay. I'm merely just wanting to check obviously the MACDs. You can see on the MACD right here, we do seem to have a bearish crossover, and the way we look is that we're retesting the top of the high-low MMA. Very high chance we could correct lower. On Litecoin, you can see that we are retesting what appears to be a resistance now, but was a previous support. And there's a chance we could obviously fumble down and test bottom support, which you can see we've done numerous times in and out. Now, with that being in effect, the fact is that I like to talk about Bitcoin mainly because we can't short Litecoin right now. I mean, maybe there are some other exchanges out there where you can, but as of right now, DueDEX is only supporting Bitcoin, which is why I like to use Bitcoin to short, obviously, because that's the only one available. Although DueDEX did come out with a statement to me saying that they are going to be including other cryptocurrencies. They asked me which ones that I would like, since I do talk about them so much. They asked me, and basically all of your guys' feedback, XRP, Litecoin, and Ethereum are pretty much the top ones that I'd like them to add to the exchange. It will also make it a lot easier for us to make money off those altcoins as well. But obviously, if you have any feedback on the other ones, definitely make sure to leave it down below in the comments. Now, in regards to shorting, we can see that on Litecoin, it looks like a correction is headed. It looks like we're going to be heading lower. It seems like there's going to be a drop of about 26% on Litecoin. As we check Ethereum, which is currently already correcting downwards, you can see it has hit its resistance, which has been on the coin for quite some time now, and it is falling lower to currently retest bottom support. You can see that ultimately we could anticipate the same, about a 17 to 18% correction. You can clearly see we've headed lower in the past, so there may be opportunities for us to get more profit as we head lower. And then you can see with XRP, as I zoom in, we're currently kind of just consolidating, and I think XRP is trading differently than the other altcoins. Ultimately, XRP is just going to probably continue to trade outwards until it closes its massive candle here. Now, ultimately consider that, or massive descending triangle. Consider if Bitcoin does decide to break bearish, obviously it will pull XRP down with it. And I do still believe strongly, before we see any sort of uptrend or swing to the upside, XRP is going to have to retest 16 cents. I know that sounds crazy. I know it's unfortunate, but about the 16-cent zone is where I see this coin retesting before we see any sort of luck blasting the coin up. Now, I do believe we will be shooting up higher within XRP, but I do just think that XRP needs to retest 16 cents before it makes that major swing to the upside. Now, to discuss Bitcoin, the coin that's been pretty much we've been tracking for quite some time now. For those of you that are new to the channel and that have subscribed, you know that we have a strong uptrend right here. Just a quick recap. The strong uptrend, which has been on the coin since February or the beginning of 2017, if not even 2016. Eventually, come 2017, we extended away from there. Eventually, in 2018, we slowly, gradually came back down to retest what appears to be a massive support. And now notice, come 2019, we seem to be doing the same thing, where it seems like we want to ultimately correct back down and retest this support right here. This is the ultimate to support, which has pretty much given us year after year profits, a positive return on investment, unlike XRP. But every year we seem to have a higher price with with help of the uptrend. Last year we were at around 33. We could easily be at 50 or 5,000. Come 2021, we could be up closer to 6,000, and so on and so forth. But you can see what I'm referring to. Now consider a couple of things here. It is the fact that there is this uptrend similar to previous support where we do break at some point where we come into contact with each other. It's also fairly close to the high-low middle moving averages, which you can see are currently, I believe, sandwiched in between here. You can see these are the two right here, and they are slowly coming back down to meet Bitcoin at its daily. Now, I did adjust the Bitcoin chart a couple of days ago, but for those of you who are new, it doesn't really affect much. But the only reason I did was when looking at the weekly charts, you can see why I did that, and that's because it actually makes more sense to have this as the downtrend than how I had it before. Now we are being supported by this uptrend. You can see clear today that that is why we're being withheld up, but notice that is coming to an end point very soon, and with this high-low MMA, there's good reason for us to correct lower. Notice every single time we tested that resistance, we ended up correcting downwards, and with a lot of the bearish news coming out, that's ultimately where I am anticipating the coin to fall to, a short of about 30 to 37%. Now, for those of you that are new to the channel or haven't yet subscribed or haven't yet signed up for DueDEX, it is the first link in the description. I highly recommend you do so. For those of you that did sign up and haven't yet invested, something to consider. I've been depositing some money into DueDEX now. I did withdraw a little bit of my funds, but I've left in quite a bit where I'm going to short the cryptocurrency here, mainly because I do believe strongly that with Ethereum retesting here, I don't see it going much higher. I mean, obviously there's still a chance for it to, but the way these seem to play out is it looks like it wants to head lower. So I'm going to take the risk. You guys don't have to, but, and you know, not financial advice, but if you want to copy me, this is the opportunity. DueDEX is linked down below. They also have sign up bonuses that I talked about down in the description, but ultimately I think I am officially going to short this coin once again and obviously track the profit and the progress with you guys. You guys can watch, you guys can follow, whatever you want to do, but this is what I'm going to be doing. You can see it seems like we have officially hit the resistance, and it looks ultimately like we're going to correct lower. That's what I ultimately have figure. You can also see it looks like we're going to see a bearish cross on the daily. You can also see that it looks like we're about 46 on the RSI, so there's room to head lower. The only thing to consider is even with Ethereum hitting resistance here, Bitcoin looks like it has just a tad more room to head higher. Obviously, we could probably adjust this candle a little bit like that. This may be something to consider as well. So if we have it like this, it has a little bit more room to head up with that resistance being at $7,600. But if per se we do decide to break down today or tomorrow, then ultimately I would just adjust this like that and then call this to be the bottom, because once again, even like that, we do still have reason to believe that this is the resistance right here. So we're just going to wait it out, but I do believe we are going to correct lower any second now, and I will just leave this like this for this second, but I am anticipating some sort of correction. Now, as for shorting the coin on DueDEX, basically it is this simple. You can see I have 0.08 in my account, so all I got to do is type in 0.08 let's see, 0.0. Oh, I don't even know. I think I type in my value. Hold on. So you can see we're going to short it right here. Click on 72.51. And then as for the quantity that we're going to invest, I believe it's in dollars, actually. You would type in like $800, and this shows you your percentage. So we'd have to do a little bit less than that. So 750 or 740. Once again, does not reach it, so we'll do maybe 700. Does that reach it? Almost there. 650. Okay, so 600 should work. Let's see. Even less. 550. Let's try that. Okay, so 550 does actually work. You can see 550 is right here. You'll notice that we have 0.07 that we're going to trade around with out of 0.08. So to make this easier, I'm going to do a solid $500. So we're going to trade around with a notional value of 0.0689 out of our available 0.081. I am going to leverage this with a 10 times in anticipation we're going to head lower. This will make me more profit off of my smaller margin of $500. Now, for those of you that don't seem to watch all my videos but like to leave comments, yes, this is riskier leveraging it by 10 10 times. That's why I am doing it. You guys don't have to leverage it at all. You can leverage it as much as you want, to be honest. I'm going to do 10 times because that's what I feel comfortable with. And it's honestly just for content for you guys to see how exactly it does. So just another confirmation with Bitcoin being right here, Litecoin looking to head lower, Bitcoin ultimately looking to head lower, and Ethereum also heading lower. I do believe it is time to leverage this, and I'm going to sell short with the price that we're currently trading at. You can see, bam, selling short, confirming right here, and then it should open up. Order successfully created. We have an active order. Eventually this will close. It will be an open position, and we'll continue to track this as the days move on. Otherwise, guys, that's going to wrap up today's episode. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.